What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing? Me, me personally, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And you want to know why I'm doing great? If you asked, well, I'm doing great because Keaton Wagler turned up. Keaton Wagler turned up tonight. He turned up. He turned up, man. Yo, listen, guys, I want to get to some of the other Clippers that played tonight. I have a bone to pick with a specific player, but we'll get to that later. I want to start positively, okay? I want to start on a positive note. Um, Keaton, yeah, he balled out tonight, specifically in the third quarter. We'll get to that more of that third quarter performance from Keaton, but I want to get into what I was thinking early on in the game, in the first quarter, first few minutes. Right from the jump, what stood out to me was the difference in the Jazz's defensive coverage compared to what we saw from the Kings' defensive coverage on Keaton in the last game, where, like I was saying in my first video, the Kings, and specifically Emmanuel Sharp, when he was guarding Keaton, made it an emphasis to be very physical with Keaton and just get up in his grill. They weren't giving him any room to dribble, any room to breathe when he had the ball. And it was just really trying to be very physical with Keaton and make it tough for him to get comfortable. Whereas tonight, the Jazz, they had Darryn Peterson as the primary defender on Keaton. And while Darryn Peterson did take the challenge against Keaton, I felt like Keaton had a lot more room to dribble. He wasn't being as pressured as a ball handler. The Jazz, they weren't doubling high up on Keaton when he had the ball, forcing Keaton to throw the ball out. Keaton, it felt like a lighter defensive coverage, which gave me a lot of optimism early in the game, where I was thinking to myself, okay, Keaton, this is a lighter defensive coverage, so you can loosen up here. And I was fully expecting a better performance, a better offensive performance from Keaton with this change in defensive coverage. But I'll be honest, early on, I was getting pretty concerned, especially with that missed free throw, which would have been 3 points when Keaton got fouled on a three by Darryn. Yeah, when he missed that free throw, it wasn't even the fact that he missed the free throw; it was how he missed the free throw. Like, it was a pretty bad miss. And Keaton is a great free throw shooter, but the free throw was well short. And when he missed that free throw, it just felt like, honestly, it felt like I was about to watch part two of what happened the other night against Sacramento. And it was starting to feel like what I was already feeling like this in the last game against Sacramento. But that missed free throw had me thinking maybe Keaton's confidence is just shot completely. But yeah, the first half went on, and at halftime, when he had 5 points, I believe, I was just thinking to myself, like, man, Keaton, he hasn't shown enough promising scoring plays in the 6 quarters of Summer League that he had played up until that point. He had shown some promising plays as a playmaker, but I wanted to see more as a scorer. And I just, up until that point, I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't seeing enough. If anything, I was seeing more dooming plays to make me think negatively of Keaton as a scorer at the NBA level than promising plays. But little did I know, guys, what Keaton had in store for us in that third quarter. because the third quarter came rolling around and he turned up. I just remember him turning up in that third quarter. He hit like three or four threes. One of them was a nasty step back on a big, which is what I wanted him to do when he had Dylan Cardwell guarding him in the last game, and that play I had pointed out and showed you guys. That's what I wanted Keaton to do, because I know he's capable of doing that. And also had a really impressive like turnaround mid-range on the right wing, inside the 3-point line, that looked pretty reminiscent of his Illinois days. So yeah, he was showing the full arsenal in the third quarter. You could tell like he was really starting to feel himself and get into that zone, and it was so great to see. It was great to see. The one thing I want to see Keaton play with more than anything is confidence. Like, and you could see the confidence. Like, it was there in the third quarter. You could see the confidence from Keaton. That was like the most confident he has looked in all of Summer League, and that was what Clippers fans were waiting on. That was what Clips fans have been waiting on. Some were a little more impatient than others, you know. I also want to mention Keaton's defense on Darryn Peterson in tonight's game really impressed me. And Keaton as a defender in general so far in Summer League has honestly exceeded my expectations, because going into the Summer League and Keaton as a Clipper, I had pretty low expectations for Keaton as a defender. I expected him to be a pretty poor defender. I didn't really watch much defensive film while he was at Illinois, to be honest. And I know he has length, but I just felt like he'd get picked on and outmatched with physicality as a thinner frame. But Keaton, he has impressed me a lot so far with his defense in Summer League. He moves his feet pretty well. He has the length, so he's able to contest jump shots pretty well. And he's definitely no slouch on the defensive end. The effort is there, the contests are there, and I like what I've seen so far from Keaton as a defender. But yeah, Keaton's final stat line, he finished with, he didn't play much in the fourth, which he didn't need to. We were blowing the Jazz out. He played for a little towards the end of the fourth, but he did most of his damage in the third. Finished with 23 points, 6 for 16 from the field, 4 for 7 from three, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 7 fouls. I don't really care about the fouls though in Summer League. And hey, for what it's worth, he outplayed Darryn Peterson. Darryn Peterson had the same amount of points as Keaton, but on slightly less efficient shooting. He shot 6 for 18 from the field, 1 for 3 from three, 5 assists, 2 turnovers. Now, I do want to talk briefly on Baba, because Baba, he had a heck of a game himself, guys. Baba, I loved what I saw from Baba tonight. He had 15 points, 5 for 7 from the field, 2 for 3 from three. That was like one of the biggest concerns with Baba coming into into the draft was his shooting, his 3-ball. I think because I've heard so many people mention it, he shot like 19% from 3 at Cincinnati last season. But I think the shot form-wise is there. It's just about the consistency, which, as he plays more, we'll see if the consistency can be there. But I like what I've seen from the outside shot, or with the outside shot from Baba. And yeah, he had 2 plays that stood out to me tonight. He had that nasty dunk when he drove down the lane and just boomed on that defender that was guarding him. It looked like one of his college highlights with Cincinnati. And then he had a end of the shot clock 3 from like the logo, just launched it and he banked it. Like, who was Baba feeling like tonight? Yeah, Baba, I was saying in the first video, I see the potential. I see the potential with Baba, I do. And I think as long as Ty Lue plays him next season, he can emerge as a great player in our rotation, especially if the outside shot becomes consistent and falls on a consistent basis. Baba, I'm really excited for his potential and his growth. I see a lot of Evan Mobley in Baba's game. Like, even before the summer league, when I was watching his college highlights, he just reminds me a lot of Evan Mobley. Just really athletic, high defensive upside, crashes the boards. So, yeah, shout out to Baba. Nick Martinelli was solid tonight too. 14 points, 7 for 11 from the field. Didn't knock down a 3, but yeah, Nick Martinelli gave us good minutes tonight. So yeah, shout out to Nick Martinelli. Now, I want to get to Cam Christie, and I'm going to try to keep this short. But Cam Christie,
this nigga is trash.
Yo, Cam Christie was pissing me off tonight. Cam Christie was pissing me off tonight. If Cam Christie got waived tonight, I wouldn't even care. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. I'm sorry if that sounds reactionary, but I truly mean it. Cam Christie, if he got waived tonight, I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even be bothered by it. Cam Christie was awful tonight. That was probably the worst game I've ever seen Cam Christie play. And I've seen some pretty bad games from Cam Christie. That was the worst game I've ever seen him play, by far. Cam Christie, and the box score doesn't even do the performance justice of how bad it was. You really had to see it with and I'm gonna show these clips, and there's gonna be a lot of them. I might not even get to show all of them because there was a lot of them, a lot of bad clips, plays from Cam Christie. The box score doesn't even do it justice of how bad this performance was. 7 points, 1 for 11 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. I don't even know how he had 9 rebounds. They must have just added some of those, like, out of pity. 5 turnovers, but it felt like he had 10. He was awful tonight, man. He was early on in the game too, like from the jump. And I was trying to be patient with Cam. I really was. I was trying to be patient with him. But my patience ran out. It ran out because I was there to watch the development of our guys, mostly Keaton, Baba, Nick. I feel like I've already seen enough from Kobe, but it is year 2. You know, he could have a sophomore slump, so you want to see what Kobe can bring to the table. Some of the other guys. Cam was was awful. He was awful. Like, he had a missed dunk. Like, it was bad to watch. Like, he was, yo, Cam, you're in year 3, about to be year 3. Why am I seeing you play like this in year 3? It's year 3 and you're playing like this. I'm done with Cam. I'm done with him. I never really was high on him anyways, to be real. I'm done with Cam. It's year 3 and you're playing like this. I just don't I don't see it with Cam, and I never really did see it, and I don't think I ever will see it. He's in year 3 playing like this. It's just not good. It's not good. He was awful tonight, and the film will show it. I'm gonna show it on the screen. It was bad. It was bad. Like, just forced shots up at the rim, missed jump shots, bad turnovers, missing wide open teammates, getting and one scored on him. It was bad, man. Like, I'm done with Cam. But yeah, guys, overall, it was a great team win. Jamal Telfort also gave us good minutes. He had 9 points, 3 for 5 from the field. Actually, all his shots were threes, 3 for 5 from 3. He gave us good minutes off the bench. It was cool to see Fletcher Lawyer get involved late in the game. He hit a 3. Sean played pretty well. Yeah, it was a great team effort, great team win. We won by 22 points. Pretty comfortable win. We broke the game open in the third. And yeah, I think this game and that third quarter performance will do a lot for Keaton's confidence going forward. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he'll do and how he'll play in that next game against the Lakers on Tuesday. And that'll probably be my next upload, talking about that game. So yeah, that's all I have for today, and I will see y'all in the next one. Clippers FC, Keaton Wagler FC, we up.
You needed to handle the pressure better.
Yeah, run!